Every club around the EFL loves a good cup run, and the Carabao Cup provides just the experience for clubs around the grounds. We're going to start today by taking a look at the southern section, round one. Who's going to get off to the best start? Of course, we'll crush out at the first stage. We'll get into it, all of it, next. That's right, folks, back once again in another video. Today we're predicting the Carabao Cup round one, of course, the southern section, of course. A whole host of teams down south try to continue or at least kick on their cup run, of course, in the League Cup. Who, of course, will get knocked out at the first stages, who, of course, will make it round two. We'll get into all of that and more in a second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for Carabao Cup is right here, under one roofski, of course. Excited to take a crack at this one this time around. And, of course, you can too as well. We have got an interactive element to the prediction show where you can get involved and predict for yourselves. We'll get into all of that in a second. A big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you do, subscribe. So your one-stop shop kicks off right here. So let's crack on with what we're talking about. We are talking about round one, and then we're going down south today. Later on today, there will be the northern section, but it's all about the southern right here, right now. So we're going to start with just a quick look at our prediction league. It is free. Get involved. Use that link there. It should also be in the description down below. And of course, if you're a bit savvy with the old the mobile phone, you can use the QR code if you want to go that way. But that is, of course, that. Let's, of course, take a look at the fixtures. Now, again, this is just the southern section. There will be a separate video for the northern section, and that, of course, will be on the channel later today as well. So let's kick us all off with a quick look at Cambridge United up against QPR. That's right, Cambridge United out of League One with Gary Monk at the helm, up against QPR side with Marty Cufientes. Now, a spoiler alert, I am actually recording this before a lot of the action that has taken place in this past EFL weekend. So we're going to go a little bit raw with this one. But, of course, Cambridge out of League One, Gary Monk, sensible manager. This will be an opportunity for QPR to mix it up a little bit and maybe play some fringe players, maybe get some few minutes in the locker here. Now, they did play last time around back in 2021. That was, when was that? That was a friendly game. It did result in a QPR victory. Of course, Cambridge kicking their season off with a match against Stockport. QPR are in action as I record this one. Again, I do anticipate a bit of a fringe 11 here. And of course, this is a breeding ground for a major upset. I'm going to go with a surprise here. 2-1 win in the favour of Cambridge. You can currently get odds at the moment for that victory. What we got here? Oh, God, it's on in funny odds. Give me a second here while I refresh them here. Of course, the odds for Cambridge victory is 15-4. 11-8 on is your QPR. 13-5 is the draw. So QPR overwhelming favourites here, but I am going to back the surprise. I'm going to go with Cambridge to win this one. Of course, chance for a lot of these lower teams to get a shock under the belts. Then we go over to the Bescot. That's right, it's Walsall up against Exeter City. That's coming at you on Tuesday as well. Both of these two sides in the lower echelons of the league. Walsall in League Two with Matt Sadler at the helm. Exeter with Gary Caldwell. Played each other 14 times since 2009. Just 4 wins for Walsall. 5 wins for Exeter. There's been 5 draws as well between these two sides. They last played over at the Bescot back in January 2022, and it was a 2-0 win for Exeter back in the day. Quick look at the odds for this one. 21-10 is your Walsall, 6-5 is your away win. That is, of course, Exeter. 13-5 is the draw. Again, going with a bit of an upset, going with a lower league here win. Walsall with the victory at the Bescot, 2-0 win. I just fancy them at the moment. Exeter yet to get going as well. Just a little feeling in my loins there. Then we hop over to Crawley. Crawley, of course, promoted from League Two to League One, up against a Swindon Town side who, of course, played their first game of the season against Chesterfield, picked up a decent result as well. Mark Kennedy at the helm. Crawley, though, with Scott Lindsay maybe riding on a bit of momentum from their exploits at Wembley. Now, these two clubs played each other 21 times since 2010. 8 wins for Crawley, just 6 for Swindon, and 7 draws between the two sides. The most recent match between the two sides was last season. It was on New Year's Day, 3-1 win it was for Crawley. As well. The bookies back, what we got on here, Crawley 20 is the victory, 5-2, the draw, the away win for Swindon, 12-5. I am backing Crawley on this one, just going to edge it on this one. Swindon, away from home, going to be tricky against a Crawley side who have kept a lot of the stars. Well, actually, they did lose a couple of the stars from the tremendous win at Wembley, but I just think Crawley will have too much in the locker in the end. Let's go over to the Kazam. Of course, we're Oxford United from the Championship, taking on Peterborough, of course. And again, this game last season was in League One. They were both in League One. Des Buckingham at the helm for Oxford, up against Darren Ferguson of Peterborough United. They played each other 22 times since 1983. It's quite tight between the two sides. 9 wins for Oxford, 8 wins for Peterborough, and there's been 5 draws between the two sides. Most recently at the Kazam, it was a 1-0 win. It was in the playoffs. Of course, they played each other 4 times last season, I believe, in the league. And Oxford coming out on top with just the 1 defeat against Peterborough over those last 4 matches. They like playing them. And again, if this game was over at Peterborough, I think it might have been a different scoreline. But the bookies, they go with, on this one, Oxford 5-4 for this one, 15-8 is your away win, 13-5 is the draw. So you were back Oxford on this one. But again, just like some of the other championship clubs in this competition, it's going to be a chance to get some minutes in the legs of maybe your fringe players, your backup players. The transfer window is open. You want to know who, of course, is up for the fight. But they will lose this one. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Peterborough. Of course, Peterborough ain't no slouches and probably are amongst a cluster of clubs in League One that could compete decently at a championship level. I think Peterborough are a class team, and I think they will be there or thereabouts at the end of the season once again. Let's hop on over to Carrow Road. That's right, Rovers' next venue over in the Championship, taking on a Norwich side, who, of course, will lock horns with Stevenage this coming Tuesday. Is it Wednesday, actually? Wednesday? No, Tuesday, I am right. Tuesday, the 13th of August. Norwich and Stevenage are unfamiliar foes. Haven't played each other since 2018. And that was last time in the Cup, in this same competition over at Carrow Road, back on August 2018. It was a 3-1 win for Norwich way back when. So unfamiliar foes indeed. The bookies siding with the Canaries here, 15-8 on for the victory. 5-1 is the Stevenage and 3-1 is the draw. I'm wearing yellows today, just because I found it. And of course, I'm going to back the yellows on this one. I didn't back the yellows in the Oxford game, but I'm going to back the Canaries on this one. I just think they have too much quality across the whole spectrum of their team here. They may, again, play a backup 11, backup goalkeeper, mix it up a little bit, but the gap realistically is too huge here, and Norwich should come out on top with the W. Let's move on over to Bromley, of course, new to the scene, taking on fellow League Two outfit. And that is a Wimbledon. This match will take place over in Bromley with Andy Woodman at their helm. Wimbledon with Johnny Jackson in the dugout. Played each other just twice since 2008. And of course, the most recent one of those matches was back in April 2009 over at Bromley and ended up all square. A bit of a thriller as well. 4 goals in it, 2-2 in the end. Desmond 2-2 on the scoreline there. 15-8 your Bromley, 5-4 is your Wimbledon, 13-5 is the draw here. Again, a lot of vibes or gut feeling would probably hinder on the performances of both Bromley and Wimbledon in their opening games in League Two. But again, I can't see that because that's a little bit later on today. I'm recording it nice and early, but I'm going to go with my gut on this one. I'm going to go with a victory for Bromley to upset the apple cart, perhaps send Wimbledon out, send Bromley in their debut in this competition through to round 2. That's right. But who else will join them? Will it be Portsmouth? Will it be Millwall coming at you over at Fratton Park? This is a bit of a ding-dong affair, of course. One of the games of the day, you would imagine. Of course, Pompey back in the Championship. Millwall trying to, outdo Portsmouth this time around in the Championship. But they're going to lock horns in an old Championship bloodbath, you would say, over at Fratton Park. John Massinho, the governor for Pompey. Millwall with Neil Harris in the dugout. Again, played each other 15 times, and guess what? 5 wins apiece, and there's been 5 draws between the two sides. Portsmouth, though, coming into this, haven't beat Millwall since 2010 over, and that was at the Den. The last time they played each other at Fratton Park. It was a 1-0 win for Millwall back in April 2012, again in the Championship. So Millwall unbeaten against Portsmouth over the last 4. And again, this time, though, over at Fratton Park. Portsmouth's last victory over Millwall at Fratton Park was all the way back in 2002. It's been a long, long time overdue. The bookies, though, 29-20 is your Pompey, 90-10 is your Millwall, and 11-5 is the draw. I think I'm back in Portsmouth on this one. I am 2-1 win. And again, just like the other Championship clubs, I do anticipate mixing it up. They're going to mix it up. Of course, the teams that play in the Championship, you might get maybe 3 or 4 of your first teamers involved somehow, but it is a good chance to get some of the youngsters who you think might be good enough. It's kind of like a free hit, really. If you get through, huzzah, you're into the next round. But if you crash out, it's, of course, one less fixture on the docket later on in the season when it does get a little bit nasty and busy as well. So it's a free hit. Go for it. And yeah, I don't think it'll be too, but momentum is key. Of course, you want to get the wheels in motion. Let's take a look then at Northampton Town over at taking on Wycombe. This is over at Sixfields, of course. Now, these two clubs are in the same division over in League One with John Brady at the helm. The Northampton Town, Matt Bloomfield at the helm over at Wycombe. 24 times these two clubs have played since 2003. 7 wins for Northampton, 9 wins for Wycombe, and there's been 8 draws between the two sides. Most recently at Sixfields, it was a 1-0 win for Wycombe back in September 2023. Wycombe are unbeaten against Northampton Town over the last 6. In fact, they've won 5. They've won 6 out of 6 against Northampton. So they like playing them. The bookies might see that as well. 9-5 is your Northampton Town. We have, what have we got here on the draw? 12-5 the draw. 29-20 is your Wycombe here. I'm going to go with that sort of trend here. 2-1 win for Wycombe, taking the win on the road. Into the hat they go for round 2. We'll join them in the All Championship affair over at Thrashton Gate. Is Bristol City taking on Coventry City. That's right, a bit of a ding-dong, this one. Again, Liam Manning in the dugout for Bristol City. We've got Coventry coming at you with Mark Robbins. 26 times they have played since 2007. 12 wins for Bristol City, 7 wins for Coventry. There's been 7 draws as well between these two sides. Bristol City, most recently, picking up a 1-0 win over Coventry last time around in October 2023. In fact, they're unbeaten against Coventry over the last 4, picking up a couple of wins, but 3 draws. Of course, a draw in this game means a penalty, so we don't want to go there, or do we? We'll see. Bristol City 27-20 for the victory. 13-5 is the draw, and 9-5 is your way around. Back in Coventry, they've got a lot of talent. Not necessarily in the first team, just the first team, but also within the squad. And of course, they'll be reflected in this match as well. So we'll see a good rotation by Coventry, maybe a little bit of an envious rotation as well. Meanwhile, Cardiff will take on Bristol City. Bit of a derby, this one, bit of a regional derby. Now these two sides, again, separated by the division. Cardiff with Errol Bulut in the dugout, Bristol Rovers and Matty Taylor. Now the Bristol Rovers, folks, not sounding very confident with their EFL campaign, but this, as of course, will provide a bit of a distraction, perhaps from their EFL League exploits. Now they have played each other 5 times since 2009. 3 wins for Cardiff, 1 win for Bristol Rovers, and there's been 1 draw between the two sides. Most recently, all those games have been friendlies, but the last competitive game in Wales was a 3-1 win for Cardiff back in August 2009. Of course, the bookies go 11-8 for Cardiff. They are favoured. 13-5 is the draw, and 15-4 is your away win. I can't see anything but a victory for Cardiff. They've got some good players, again, who may or may not be fit and raring to go for the EFL game this weekend, but of course, they might get minutes in this game. Good chance for those players who don't make it to prove their fitness in a free hit such as this. Then we have a bit of an interesting League One doubleheader here. It's Charlton, it's Birmingham City coming at you at Charlton Athletic, aka what is the Valley? That's right, the Valley. Of course, Nathan Jones with Charlton, Chris Davis for Birmingham. Played each other 30 times since 1993. 12 wins for Charlton, 7 wins for Birmingham. There's been 11 draws between these two sides. Most recently at the Valley, it was a 2-1 win for Charlton back in April 2016. That was the last time they picked up a win at the Valley. The last time they played at Charlton was back in September 2019, and Birmingham came out on top. What we're looking at for the odds. The odds for Charlton, 11-5 for the victory, 6-5 is your Birmingham, 12-5 is the draw. Of course, Birmingham is spending a lot of cash, got a good squad, decent squad, good chance for, again, players from who don't make the start this weekend to get involved and of course stake a claim. But this is a tough game. Nathan Jones ain't no slouch, and he'll have this Charlton team on the on the cusps. But unfortunately, I think this will be maybe the one game that will drag into extra time. I'm going to go with a draw here, but Birmingham will come out on top with penalties and it will boost their confidence as they try and get all these guys working on the same hymn sheet. Let's go on forward to the Vicarage Road. It is Watford taking on, who do we got here? We got MK Dons, that's right. A couple of divisions separating these two sides. Watford with Tom Cleverley taking on MK Dons and Mike Williamson. Played each other 12 times since 1999. We've got 5 wins for Watford, 3 for MK Dons. It's been 4 draws between the two sides. Most recently, though, they did play each other at Vicarage Road in the Cup in 2022. It was a 2-0 win for MK Dons way back when the last time they played each other over at Vicarage Road. Prior to that, it was a 4-0 win for Watford in the Championship way back in 2004. The bookies, though, they go 20-11 on for your Watford, 10-3. The draw 17-4 is your way. And I think this one also has a smell of an upset here. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for MK Dons. Cleverly got a lot going on, a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Young coach, a lot of prima donnas there still at Watford, and I think he may be one of the first managers to go, because Watford is that environment where you need to be shitting gold bricks, shitting golden eggs every 2 seconds, because you're going to get fired if you can't get a couple of results together. So Watford under pressure will be, and again, this is a free hit, but some people may not see it like that. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. MK Dons, surprise, surprise. Let's go back to Wales with Swansea up against Gillingham. That's right, Swansea. Of course, with Matey Boy at their helm up against Gillingham. Can't see it, guys. Where are you? There you are, Swansea, coming at you with Luke Williams in the dugout up against Gillingham and Mark Bonner. 7 times they're played since 2006, these two clubs. 3 wins apiece, and there's been 1 draw between the two sides. Most recently, they have played back in the first round of the FA Cup back in 2019. It was a 4-1 win for Swansea. In fact, Swansea are unbeaten against Gillingham over the last 4, picking up 3 wins and just that 1 draw. Meanwhile, the bookies for this one, we have 2-1 on is your Swansea, 31-10 is the draw, 21-4 is your away win. Gotta back the Swansea. Yeah, gonna go over in Wales. Still a long way to go despite this north-south divide. I think Gillingham will take the L. Swansea will move on to the second round, where they could be mating the likes of Plymouth Argyle, who are taking on Cheltenham, of course, Wayne Rooney FC. Can he get it right this time? This match is actually on Wednesday, the 14th of August. Played each other 22 times since 2003. 16 wins for Plymouth, 5 wins for Cheltenham, 1 draw. Of course, Michael Flynn in the dugout for Cheltenham, the Rooney in the dugout for Plymouth. Most recently, they played in League One back in January 2023. Plymouth coming down on top 4-2 in the end. They actually won 6 games on the bounce in all competitions at all venues. Plymouth are the fancied team in it. I don't think it's going to be any different here. 6-4 on is your Plymouth. 29-10 is the draw. 15-4 is your away win. Wayne Rooney will pick up his win here, and maybe, just maybe, get a bit of confidence in those green shirts. Into the final 2 now. We head over to Brisbane Road. It's Leyton Orient up against Newport County, coming at you this coming Tuesday as well. Where are you? Where are you? Leyton Orient. Am I seeing that right? Slightly early kickoff. That's why I struggled. 6th, Leyton Orient with Richie Wellens in the dugout up against Newport County and Nelson Jardem. League 2 versus League 1, or League 1 versus League 2, should I say. Played each other 13 times in 2015. 6 for the Orient, 4 for Newport County, and 3 draws, of course. Meanwhile, the Orient coming at you. Most recently, these two sides locking horns at Brisbane Road. Back in October 2022, Newport County coming out on top. In fact, the Welsh Wonders are unbeaten against the Orient over the last 4. 2 wins and 2 defeats thus far. But the bookies, 25-12 on is your Newport County, is your Leyton Orient here. 31-10 is the draw. 6-1 is your long shots, Newport County. Gonna go with a 2-0 win for the Orient. Packing the bags into the second round they go, and there could be Colchester United or Reading to meet them in the next round. We'll see. Of course, don't forget it goes into a draw. These two clubs, Colchester with Danny Cowley up against Reading and Ruben Zeles. Played each other twice since 2015. 2 wins out of 2 for Reading, and both of those wins were in the EFL Cup. Most recent, or the last time they played each other over in Colchester, it was a 1-0 win for Reading back in August 2015. It took extra time, though, the last time these two sides played. But the bookies, 29-10 are your Colchester, 10-9 on is your Reading, and 5-2 is the draw here. And of course, I am gonna back Reading for the victory here. Again, they've got a thread, but not necessarily threadbare squad, but a lot of concerns about no investment, no recruitment, but they might take it a bit more seriously than the others here to give their first team players more minutes under the belt. So going with a 2-1 win there for Reading against Colchester, of course, who are separated by a division as well. So those are the situations I have for you there. Of course, don't forget the scorelines are there are in all its glory. If you want to get involved with the Prediction League, there is a link, and it should be on the screen right about now. Get involved, free to enter. And of course, I look forward to out-predicting you week in, week out. Don't forget to stop by for the northern section of the competition where we take a little look at those games. A lot of games going on over the Tuesday. It's going to be action, Jackson, of course. And if you want some company, come join me. That's right. Come join me for the watch along. We're going to have Stockport County against Rovers. Looking forward to that. But until then, guys, subscribe, smash the like, get involved, get invested. Until then, we are done.